begin. All right. Welcome to the podcast. Here I have my friend Justin Meeks.
What's up?
Aspiring, a bodybuilder, power lifter, power builder. Gonna be an entrepreneur soon. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm going to tell us a little about yourself, my friend.
So my name is Justin Meeker. I've been friends with Kevin since 7th grade. Now we're out of high school, first year out of high school. But yeah, I'm in college right now to get my business degree. And yeah, we're just on this podcast today. We have one more person joining soon, but we're just gonna have cool conversations and talk about whatever.
Lo Gang is going to be joining us, but let's do you want to let's start with the whole Photoshop drama regarding so as you can tell, me and Justin, we're into fitness a little bit. If you guys follow our grams, you guys can maybe see a little bit of our physiques, but
I really kept up with posting on there. It was, the last time I posted was like September of last year.
Dude, just wait, give it another year.
Yeah.
Give it another year. Once you're like bulked up and everything, oh my god, you'd be looking like more clicks, more dates. But let's go ahead and just start. Let's just go ahead and start with that topic. What are your thoughts about? Or do you want to just go ahead and give people a little bit of a background on what's going on with the whole Alex Eubank Photoshop drama?
Yeah. So he basically, I think it was his waist or whatever. He just kind of like slightly. I mean, it's just everyone does Photoshop, but he claims natty, and so people look up to him and they see that on Instagram. It was an Instagram. He photoshopped, I think, his waist a smidge, just to make it a little bit smaller, more aesthetic. Personally, I have no problem with it, as most influencers, I feel like, Photoshop, especially with lighting. That's like the biggest thing, but tightening the waist a little bit, yeah, I have no problem with it, but a lot of people got a little upset with that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? People are making it such a big deal. And to me, that doesn't really make sense, because it's like, well, how many influencers use pumps, supplements that pump you like crazy, which is unnatural? Natty, unnatural lighting, like that's what people call it. Like when the lighting and the angle is absolutely insane, that it makes you look unproportional, relatively. You're competing against dudes that manipulate lighting. You're competing against dudes that are manipulating their angles, and they're getting huge pumps by using supplements like L-tyrosine or L-arginine, whatever. And you're getting upset over some dude who's using Photoshop. And you said it's literally just tightening his waist a little bit? Maybe like getting his shoulders a little bit more broad, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but
like
even just a little bit, it's like he's in the... I've seen, if you watch his TikToks and everything, you can see on the ones where there's not much lighting. Without the lighting, he looks like an average... Not average, he's insane still, but he doesn't look like the Photoshop pictures, and so,
right.
I don't know.
It's like David Lade. Like, have you ever seen that video of him getting chiropractor?
I think so.
Like, his arm's not that big. It's like literally a normal arm.
Oh yeah, they all look like that.
Like, you gotta understand. Like, you can't hate on an Instagram post. All these people are doing the utmost. And I understand. Do understand the point of view where people are like, okay, well, he's he's claiming natural, and he's Christian, and all that faith stuff, all that God stuff, and I do get that much. But the truth is that, sometimes a little bit of Photoshop on an Instagram, that's kind of almost normal too. I feel like a lot of influencers are probably doing that, and maybe just a little bit less. I do get that it makes him look unnatural, and that's what he's trying to show his audience, is okay, this is what is achievable naturally. And I get that that's why people are angry. I think that Alex, what he should have done, and I think this is where the problem really intensifies, is where he didn't admit to it. and so it becomes a problem. Right, because he could have just like, he could have just like been like, hey, you know what, I was using Photoshop. I understand that some of you guys are upset, but the truth is, Instagram, like, dude, Instagram, like, don't really like, don't compare yourself to Instagram models. Like, we always have like an insane pump. We always have, insane lighting, insane angles, and maybe a little bit of Photoshop. So like, maybe he could have stepped in and literally told people, which would have been a great message. Don't fucking compare yourself to Instagram models, like, ever, because it's
he also
real.
The thing is, not every single photo he's done has been photoshopped and all that stuff. So it's like he's hiding it and then claiming natty. The thing is, he just he did one, or maybe he's done a few. I don't know, but he has non-photoshopped and like his real what he looks like, without the Photoshop. So, and he's keeping that, keeping that up and everything, and so it's not like he's hiding the fact that and just photoshopping everything and then acting like, I'm natural, and then everyone thinks you can look like that natural.
It was just like one post.
I think so, yeah. I don't
and
know.
People just blew it up for like maybe a handful. And what I also know is that the dude who talked about like Alex Eubank doing Photoshop, that dude also like called out like people like Lex Little and other influencers who didn't use Photoshop at all. So it's almost like a dude was like reaching a little bit, like he's like kind of like reaching a little bit, like it's like, dude, like, are you being for real, like, right now? Like,
what guy was that?
The dude who was calling them out.
Yeah,
I actually don't know. Some dude on TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people doing it, like calling out. So
yeah, that's probably true though. It probably isn't the original dude. But the problem also gets worse because I don't know if you knew this, but what Alex did is he literally like, or maybe it wasn't Alex directly, like it wasn't Alex himself, but somebody linked to Alex took down the channels of the dude who exposed, like took down the TikTok page and Instagrams of the dude who exposed Alex, and also, I forgot his name, but it's a dude who's always with Suzy. He has like the glasses. Suzy? He's big. He like used to train with David Lade.
I might know.
He's like in Gorilla, like he's with the Gorilla Mode thing.
Gorilla Mode. I don't remember.
I forget his name. I think his name's something England. I think his name's something England. Like Jacob England, no, Jonathan England. Oh man, I forgot his name, but like whatever. Like I think, they took down his channel, or not his channel, his is it
Dylan Instagram. McKenna?
No, it's not him. It's something England. Okay. Something England.
England, huh?
Jason England.
I don't really.
Jackson England. Oh man, it's something with a J and then England.
Oh, he used
James
to train
England?
with
Yeah, James
England,
he
used to train with Sush.
Yeah. Okay. What do I call him? I call him Suzy, but it's Sush.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's Sush. Yeah. Okay, I call him Suzy.
They took down his.
They took down his Instagram.
What? No way.
Yeah, and that dude who took down his Instagram is linked to Alex Eubank, and it's because he was talking about how like absolutely, I guess he was just basically talking like shit about, maybe not. I mean, he was kind of like stating kind of facts, like he was talking about how Alex shouldn't be using, Photoshop. Because he claims natty, and what he's essentially trying to, show is like whatever Christian faith and all that stuff. So you should be 100% transparent with what you're doing, especially to your audience that are like super supportive towards you. And so that's where the problem stems to, is like he went as far as to take down the channels, and he still hasn't said anything. And so it shows a lot about this character. It shows a lot about what Alex Eubank isn't really, portraying to the public. So it like, it's like he almost has like this double side of him, like this other side of him where he's actually kind of a little bit cynical, a little bit of a fucked up person per se. Like he'll go that far just to keep whatever his keep himself clean. in the public eye. He still hasn't addressed it, you know? Like, he does not give a fuck. Which I find kind of funny.
Maybe he just doesn't know what to say, you know, like, if he comes out as a, you know, people might say, oh, it's too late and stuff. Like, they lose respect for him, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think he really should just address it and then just move on with his life, because I think a lot of people are pissed off at him. But talking about, like that, like on that same kind of note, like with Alex Eubank using Photoshop, we can kind of talk about like how these young influencers have been getting on fucking steroids. Like young LA boys getting on steroids, and a lot of TikTokers who want to become like famous influencers in terms of fitness, they're getting on steroids or SARMs or, you know, human growth hormones just to appeal to the fitness and like fitness, you know. Oh, there he is. There he is. What took you so long, buddy?
I had to do the dishes.
Wu-Tang. Wukong.
Yeah. What up, boys? Hi, Justin.
Hey,
what's up?
Your mic sounds like a little distant.
This is my webcam. Hold on.
You're talking about the young influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think that's terrible, dude. It messes up your hormones.
Yeah,
and stuff.
so so we kind of talked about this in the last podcast about the effects that those steroids. Is that my phone? Hold on. Sorry.
Are you getting called?
Yeah, I cannot be disturbed while I'm doing the podcast. That just fell. All right, no good lighting. I'll have to I'll just wait until you guys are. But let me just say my point real quick. So we talked about this. Remember, Logan, about the effects that steroids have on, or performance-enhancing drugs have on the body. of an individual. Essentially, you're getting your hormone levels, your testosterone levels are already average, and you're ramping it up. And so what happens is your estrogen levels want to level out. So like that's why people have gynecomastia. But what happens is when you take estrogen blockers, you know, you can kind of cancel that out. So your average testosterone levels, you're ramping it up by taking TRT or whatever it is that you're taking, any steroids, anabolics, whatever, that just ramp your testosterone up. And then what happens is when you get off of it, your testosterone levels just plummet. It just plummets completely. You have to do post-psychotherapy and whatever. And other than that, like, I mean, your testosterone levels may never be the same. It takes a long time. I know for SARMs, like, there's been studies done that it takes a really long time for you to get back to normal testosterone levels. And testosterone is responsible for your mood, your libido, and numerous amounts of other things. I mean, it's literally what makes you a man if you are a man. And so it's kind of unfortunate that so many people do that, and then they're fucked for the rest of their lives. Like, they have to be on like some kind of a testosterone therapy or something like that, and it's really rough. Like, it's really bad. Other than that, like, it literally fucks up your liver sometimes. It can fuck up your heart, you know. Like, there, I know with I don't know which one it is. I think it's IGF-1. What happens, or I don't know which one it is, but it basically, yeah, it's like insulin growth factor or something like that. But it swells up all of your muscular tissues, including your heart,
you're right.
Including your heart, liver, intestines, you know, all your fucking organs. And so what happens is when your heart is growing, like, to the, like, abnormal size, it's really bad. Like, it's really bad. That can, like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know which bodybuilder was, but their heart was like 3 times. No, sorry. Maybe it was like 2 times or 1.5 times the mass of a normal heart. Like, it's fucking. It was like a normal heart is probably like that big or something, like my fist size, and his was probably like maybe like a little bit of a double or something. It's kind of
there's
insane
a lot of
experience.
Logan, is that your mic?
Is there somebody outside doing the thing? No way.
Okay.
It's. I mean, it's
gosh.
fine.
So,
you can put noise suppression. Put noise suppression on.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a lot of experienced bodybuilders on TikTok that I see. I don't know any off the top of my head, but, you know, like, they're massive, and they obviously have used, and they're open about it, using supplements and all that unnatural substances and stuff. But they basically say, they talk about that too, and they say how, you know, it's better to. I mean, if you're competing at a young age, you know, it depends what you're doing. You know, you can do the natural. You can do natural, like competitions and stuff. I know if you want to compete in, like the higher, you know, like when you're bigger and everything, you need to take supplements and stuff. Logan.
Is it still going?
Yeah.
What the hell? My microphone's...
But what was I saying?
You were talking about like the competitions and how they use steroids.
Oh yeah. So they basically talk about how like you can. I mean, it's just not worth it to compete at a young age using unnatural substances. It's better to compete at a natural competition at a young age until you hit, you know, mid-20s and stuff where your body's kind of developed, and then you make the choice. You know, you've achieved most or your maximum potential naturally, and then you make the decision going forward if you want to continue being natural and compete at that level, you know, or like actually move up and take unnatural substances just because your hormones have settled at that point and you're not compromising your growth for the future.
Right, exactly. That's literally what it is. I mean, those drugs, like those performance-enhancing drugs, are literally used to, like, for people that are deficient, that are testosterone deficient or muscular deficiently. You know what I mean? So it's for people that, like, when you're in your 18 years old, 17 years old, 16 years old, 20, 22, 23, 24, like, you're at your peak in terms of testosterone, in terms of, you know, the amount of muscle you can build. And so you should, like, just try to build as much as you can naturally until you hit, like, 25 years old to 30 years old, where it's like, okay, now your hormone levels are starting to, you know, level out and kind of deplete a little bit, and, you know, you're not building as much muscle. It takes a lot, like, I don't think you can actually build muscle the same way. So that's when you can, like, kind of, that's when it's, like, relatively okay to get on, like, SARMs or testosterone. Because it still has a lot of risks, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So now Logan's in the hall. Is it still loud?
The guy's distant. He's gone out of here.
Dude, what was it? Was it like vacuum cleaning, or was it like some dude with the leaf blower?
Dude,
some like with the leaf blower? Or
yeah.
The grass cutter?
Yeah.
I saw a dude walking around with
shit.
like a big pesticide pack earlier.
Dude, I hate that shit. I used to, like, every Tuesday, I think it was, in my old house back in, like, in Wilsonville, like, every Tuesday at, like, 8 o'clock. I always sleep till like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Every fucking day, 8 o'clock, I just hear and it goes for like an hour. Like, I'm just awake the entire hour because I'm really, like, sensitive to sound when I'm sleeping. Like, if I hear something upstairs, like above me or like anywhere around me, like music playing, I will wake up and I will not be able to go back to sleep unless I'm super tired, like super duper tired. But it's just unfortunate. Every fucking Tuesday, I'd have the worst days because that's how I'd wake up to, like, that dude. Doing the fucking music, doing the fucking leaf blowing, and I just could not fucking sleep.
She'd be like, "Yo, man,
I know. I
got three
fucking,
babies."
You know how many times I thought about just opening the window and be like, "Yo, get the fuck out of here!" And I'm Mexican, so I was tempted to just be like, "You fuck." I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, just fine. But dude, I mean, it's better than like construction or just fucking, dude. I don't know if I'm thankfully not to have like any neighbors who have really loud cars or anything, but I know cars
are. Okay, right. So I moved into these apartments, right? Every night at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock a.m., and in the morning, like around 8 a.m., maybe 9 a.m., I just hear like the muffler on a fucking car, super goddamn loud, like, and just, and it's like, God damn, bro, like, why you gotta do that in an apartment? Like, who are you trying to impress? Okay, so actually, I want to ask you, Justin, because you actually, like, you know about this stuff, because you're more about, like, you know about the car stuff. Why do people? I don't get it, to be honest. I don't get it. Like, it's loud as hell. It's obnoxious.
I can't say why, like, people would do it in the apartments. Like, I personally wouldn't, but unless, like, where you live, there's no, like, open areas. you like to, if you're gonna be loud and do stuff, you want to be in areas where, if you had to run, there's like an area, like where there's not just like straight open. If your car's not fast, you can't outrun a cop. You don't want to have like just a straight open where they're gonna catch you. But yeah, they're just idiots that do it in neighborhoods, especially at 1 a.m. Like, come on, in the apartment
it's
area.
like 1 in the fucking morning, and you hear it, like you hear them going around and shit, and it's like, dude,
yeah,
are
like,
you drag racing or some shit? Yeah, like
I'll hear it on the distance and still, but like, they're crazy loud, but it's like maybe 10, 11, but like 1 is like, where most people go to sleep 10 to 11 ish. It's like I don't know.
It doesn't even make sense to me. But you can you turn it off? Like, can you just make it not loud?
Depends.
Oh,
depends.
shit.
It really depends. Like if they're like a built car and they're like, it's made for like racing. No, they don't care. They have everything, all the noise reduction stuff off that. They're just going full blown straight pipe and everything, catless. But if they're, if it's like a nicer car, or like a supercar or something, or even it doesn't have to be a supercar, but a lot of people they put, like where they can put sport mode or comfortable mode, efficient mode, whatever it is, and so that'll close the valves on the exhaust to make it quieter. But when they open it, it's louder. And muscle cars are usually stock even when they're V8s and they're stock, they're not very loud. But when they straight pipe them, especially Mustangs, dude, oh my god, I heard them last night. Those are loud, like straight piped. And then when they take out the cats on the catalytic converters, help the emissions and stuff, like that's what allows them to be legal and stuff. But dude, people take those out and they straight pipe it, dude, it's so loud.
The track hawk, you can really get the track hawk really loud. Like it sounds like it's purring, like a fucking tiger is purring. It's like
my friend has a Accord. He has a V6 Accord, and he just saw it off right out of the cats, like right where they come out the engine. He unbolted and took everything out on the muffler. Dude, he like drove up. He was coming to work, and he just drove up. You can't hear yourself talking to yourself as he's just like going half throttle. And then when he's far away, it sounds like, dude, it sounds so loud. It's crazy.
Is it like gunfiring, like AK-47, like?
No, that's like a Civic. That's like a Civic, and they like tune in and stuff.
Oh, really? What does that one sound like? The one that you're talking about?
It was like a crazy loud Camaro, a muscle car kind of thing. Okay. But like it's a V6 Accord, 1993 or something.
Yeah, dude, the ones that sound like a fucking gun firing, like those are crazy.
Those are funny.
Those are crazy. They're like really fucking busted down cars. Like, dude, I swear, dude, like some of those guys, like I just don't get it. Like they've got to have big clits on them. No offense to those guys.
I don't get why people do it in neighborhoods. It's like there's just
I can understand it like in the morning or something, but like
on the main streets.
Yeah,
it's like whatever. Yeah.
Cause damn, dude, they're just disruptive.
Passing by.
What would you guys? What would your guys' like luxury dream cars be? What'd you guys say?
Justin can go first.
I have 2. It depends because they're both around the same price too. Well, not really around the same price. Maybe like a $50,000 difference. I really want a Porsche 911. I love Porsches so much, but I also like C7 Corvettes. Those are kind of sick. But dude, the markup in cars right now is insane. So I don't even know.
Like they're just super Corvettes, expensive or what?
Yeah, really expensive. Like I know that I drove a C7 Corvette Grand Sport. That was in Oklahoma. I drove that because my uncle was he was I think a manager of a dealership, but he like gets in cars, fixes them up, and then people buy them and he basically gets them out. But he has like a warehouse and stuff, and so he called the guy and I was able to like just test drive it, and it's pretty cool. You guys, I think you saw the video. I had a TikTok on it.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I might have seen it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw it. There was a little bit more, but I didn't step in it a lot. But dude, that was crazy. Like it felt so. I didn't push on it or anything, but like it just feels like insane driving it. It feels like a Lamborghini almost. Even though it's
really?
Corvette. I like Corvettes a lot, but Porsches. See, my car is pretty small, and so it's like almost like the size of a Porsche. I think it is almost, but Porsches just I like how they're small and how powerful they are. I also love the headlights on them for some reason, just like 2 circles.
I see.
What about Logan?
Same.
Logan.
I love Porsches. Porsches are amazing, dude. Like I feel like small cars are the way to go because it's just so much easier, like parking and
Dude,
like
it is.
Control, just everything. Like if you get like a big SUV, then it's gonna be it's gonna be a little bit harder on yourself. You know what I mean?
I don't like SUVs. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, they're like practical, but I would never want. I mean, I had an SUV before this. I had a 4Runner. It was like I think 2000. I think
what,
or something.
What I'd want is it's like I hope like. So I'll probably get a Tesla, so you know I don't have to actually drive it. Just driving me fucking around because I don't fucking want to drive. But like I hope that Elon Musk comes out, like Daddy Elon Musk comes out with the DLC, and we can just fucking deck them motherfuckers out. You know what I'm saying? Like change the fucking colors,
hydraulics.
start fucking just start fucking decking it out. Like that'd be fucking sick. I just hope that he comes out with the DLC soon. Shit, dude. Fucking get a fucking. I hope like I wouldn't want to get a big one. I wouldn't want to get the big Teslas. Just like a small one. I honestly don't fuck with
They're
big
pretty
cars.
expensive, dude. They're expensive.
They are
even
expensive.
like
they are
used,
expensive.
the lowest model. You know.
But in the long run, it's an investment, right? Because like gas prices are going up and shit. Like gas is always going to be going up because it's a limited resource and yada yada yada. So I think that's the
yeah. The thing about it is that like cars, the car market is heavily skewed towards just families and stuff. In terms of like car guys and stuff, they can care less about Teslas and EV cars and all that crap. You know, they want their gas cars and stuff. Porsche's coming out with a safe fuel, or I don't know what type of fuel it is. Basically, it's a sustaining fuel that will basically be better than, because you know batteries that they have to make for the EV cars are really bad for the environment. Like the way they make them initially is really bad. Like the materials they take out, where they're taking them out is really bad. But like it's kind of weird because like EV, you know, when you're making them, the batteries, it's bad, and then they're fine. You can't really destroy them afterwards because that's bad too. But then like gas, you know, it's like I guess you wouldn't say it's as bad taking it out. It's just there's a limited supply, you know, of oil and stuff. But it's terrible, I guess, the emissions wise. That's why they have the catalytic converters and all that stuff on cars already. But I guess it's just sustaining that fuel. But Porsche is coming out with like some type of fuel or something that it's actually almost done, but it's supposed to be able to be sustainable, I guess.
Right. I mean, I know that. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I remember in my I think it was my oceanography class back in fucking high school. I had to write a paper about whether or not electrical cars are better than fucking, you know, like gas cars. And I you know, initially you're like, well, of course, right? They're fucking using solar or whatever, they're using electricity and whatnot. But in order to make those batteries that they do, like the lithium batteries that they put into Teslas, it actually releases more CO2. It actually releases way more CO2 than
and you can't decompose of them, you know, they can't get rid of them.
Right, and lithium is also a limited resource too. So, you know, you can't have enough lithium to fucking make enough cars. So they have to find another way, which I would say is once they get like solar panels to be able to be like extremely like fucking like, you know, like good in absorbing they should put a fucking pyramid on top of cars and that shit absorbs the fucking solar energy. Like the fucking Egyptians, dude. Those dudes are fucking insane.
Solar panels are really good though. Like I don't know much about them besides that they.
I mean, dude, the sun fucking radiates so much energy. Like during the
worst
day.
thing, there is something bad about it. I don't know if you probably had, or wait, you lived in like a controlled kind of like residential area, right? Where like, because like where I am, like there would be like someone come up to our house, you know, and they'd be like trying to sell you solar panels for your house. Mm-hmm. Did you have that, Logan?
Yeah, I've seen a few door-to-door salesmen.
The thing about it, it's crazy expensive, you know, but then you might think, oh, if you're living there for a long time, it's going to save you money. Of course it will. But the thing is, you know, you're saving up all this energy, you know, and then when you basically, I think it's at the end of the year or whatever or something. I don't know how it works exactly, but basically after time periods or whatever, they'll take the energy and use it somewhere else when stuff that you haven't used yet from like everybody, you know. So it's kind of like, you're kind of like donating your energy.
Dude, I'll tell you who came up to my door fucking knocking every other fucking week. Fucking missionaries from fucking Utah, where these motherfuckers were trying to convert me to what was it? What is their fucking religion? Mormons. Yeah, fucking Mormons. What is the religion though?
Mormonism, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly. I think
that sounds funky. But Mormons are just like, man, they would be knocking on.
I feel like the religion is literally just convert people and then they convert them. That's good, and then the next person converts. That's all. I feel like it's all they do. And then
the
they
only
just
thing about their religion that seems like relatively like cool is the fact that they get to go on fucking missions. Like some people will go to fucking like Puerto Rico or fucking Japan. Like if you go to fucking Japan as a mission, that'd be fucking sick. Hey, I'm Mormon. I'm Mormon now.
Here's the thing.
Take me to Japan, bro.
Here's the thing. So sorry to interrupt, but like with Mormons. With Mormons though, like, okay, so let's say you get adopted into it, right? And like you're going to church and everything, and you're a part of a church and stuff. You have to give up like 15% or like 10% of your household income to the church. And these trips to these places, you gotta pay for.
No,
like the church doesn't pay for it. Yeah.
Oh fuck, damn. But it's your family though, right? Not you.
That's your total income, gross income.
But it's like it's your family though, or who's paying for it? Like your family, because you're adopted, right? So your family's rich.
So, if it was just your dad, your mom, you, and your brothers, and your mom and dad are in it, then they would be paying their fair share, but they would not be taking money from you if you weren't like, you know what I mean. You would have to like.
So then, hell no, I'm not going on that mission. Do I have to go on that mission?
Yeah. Yeah. People like
what the
it's
fuck?
like.
Damn, that whole religion is a scam.
That's what I'm saying. So you're just going out there recruiting people to pay more money. In my opinion, my biased opinion, I feel like Mormonism is just like kind of a cult, just to like get followers and money for their stuff.
I mean, like that's a stigma. Like everyone believes that isn't Mormon.
Every religion is relatively a cult.
Even Max did, remember?
Max went to Africa, right?
Yeah, but he told me how he doesn't like it and he hates being he couldn't even work on Sundays, dude, because Sundays, I think it's Sundays.
Dude, that's right.
Yeah,
you know what's funny, actually? Like, they were so strict about it. So me and Max, we did Taekwondo, right? And we were in a demonstration team, we go, like, we'd like practice every Saturday on like with a group of like people that were in the demonstration team. They were like the best people in the Taekwondo Academy, and we would do like this routine and like we'd do self-defense like demonstrations, and like it was very creative and it was like very cool, and we'd like basically demonstrate what our academy teaches at like a big event, like a big tournament with a whole bunch of other demonstration teams from a bunch of other academies. So it's like if you ever watched like Karate Kid, it's like, you know how they're sparring and shit? It's like that, but like for demonstration teams and also for like sparring and other shit. And
did you ever do like a competition like that? Like we were sparred?
No, not like a whole team. That'd be insane. Like just fucking, that'd be sick. That'd be fucking insane.
Do the kick like that, you know?
No, I mean, but there is sparring though, but you have like gear and it's 1-on-1. It's not like a whole team. What is he gonna say? Okay, so we had a demonstration on a Sunday and his parents didn't let him go, even though it was like Taekwondo and it was like a big event and everything, and they were like, no, I'm not going. Every Sunday is for family in Mormonism. Like that's literally what he told him. And he was fucking probably 16 years old, you know, and it's like they didn't care. I don't know how it's against your religion to do a fucking academy, like something that's like, you know, productive. I can understand like, okay, going to watch a movie with your friends. Okay, no, like it's time for family. But like doing an event like that, I feel like that's almost like it's such a good thing that you should allow your kid to do that. But
what's that religion? Oh,
go ahead. I was gonna say, but hey, it's not my kid. That's all I was gonna say.
I was gonna ask, what's that religion? I saw it on TikTok a month or two ago, where it's like they don't eat for a month. I think.
A month? Holy shit!
I think I know what you're talking about.
Probably Hinduism.
Yeah.
Month.
It's a form of fasting.
Yeah,
it's a religion though,
and it's literally just water. They can drink water.
Oh,
I don't know how.
But no, wait, no.
It's called Ramadan. Yeah, Ramadan.
No, but it's not a month. It's not a month, is it? It's like 48 hours, isn't it? Or 72 hours? It's not a month.
It's a good amount of time.
It's not a month. Dude, a month?
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, isn't it you can only last like 3 weeks without eating food?
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was reading.
It can't be a month, dude. A month.
Okay, then
you'd have to be like sitting down the entire time like this and just drinking water.
That's what I was thinking.
You cannot move.
Like, how would you
I think it's like
survive?
72 hours or 48 hours. Because yeah. I'm De La Samad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's my friend from Georgia fucking state. He would do that. And I think it's like 72.
Is that every
hours.
year?
Every year on Ramadan.
That's so weird because I never have seen it, like I've never heard of that until just like this year or whatever on TikTok. I just started seeing it randomly.
Ramadan?
It was like a trend or something. Like everyone was posting
and there's just
it.
people like putting pictures and like videos of people just munching on fucking food, and they're like, "Oh God, I want to eat so bad."
I could do that though. Like 72
just fucking
hours.
delete TikTok at that point.
I don't know. Like you're drinking water all the time.
I mean, dude. Okay, so we can actually talk about this then. So, do you guys have TikTok on your phone?
Yeah.
You don't have TikTok?
No.
I was planning on reinstalling it for like other stuff, but I just haven't got the chance to.
Dude, just reinstall it to put like your music out and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But
or check you.
Like, have you ever had it? Like, did you ever have it?
Yeah.
And like, why did you delete it?
Just because like, my For You page was just filled with inappropriate things. So like, I noticed. Yeah, I noticed that it was like kind of messing with my head, and like.
Yeah.
It was messing with my head a little bit, so I just had to like.
It just makes you horny all the fucking time, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Mine was just gym stuff, car stuff, and then like
dude,
the occasional meme.
Mine, no, okay.
You want to know what mine? Every girl on there.
Dude, so on Instagram, that's what mine was. On Instagram, like every time I scroll through Reels, that's what they call it. Like the TikTok version of fucking Instagram is Reels, and it's just a whole bunch of motivational gym stuff. On TikTok though, on my old account, what I would always see was. Just conspiracy theories, spirituality, whole bunch of that shit, chakras, and I would just endlessly scroll, watch the whole fucking video through, and it was actually taking a mental toll on me because I was like, damn, like I would either come to two conclusions, like this world is so fucked up, it's run by elites and all this shit, or I'd be like damn, like it's just like I'd just be like super like fucked over because it's like all that shit would basically tell me like how unimportant I am as because of like the whole spirituality thing, and also like of how fucked up this world is, and so it just made me feel like shit, and so I was like. And on the other hand too, I'd just be scrolling endlessly, so it'd just be a waste of time because none of those conspiracy theories are really gonna like educate me in anything. It's just like a bunch of theories that aren't necessarily proven. So it's just like I just had to delete it, and that's why I deleted it. I reinstalled it recently though, just to upload stuff, not watch it.
That's the best thing you can do.
But you got to think about it, like how many people, and one of the problems that we see with social media is an overwhelming amount of information that humans were not meant to be receiving that much information. I mean, you gotta think about when technology was released, and it's been like what 30 years, maybe 20 years since technology has been like started, and so this overflow of information, it's overwhelming to the human because it's just we're not used to that. We haven't adapted to that. And so it's a lot of misinformation, a lot of, good information or whatever, but in like the truth is just too much and that's why so many people get overwhelmed, and then they get depressed or anxious or whatever, and they get unmotivated, they're unproductive and all that shit. It's literally because of that. And TikTok is the worst, is literally like the best at overwhelming you with information, because just 15-second videos, scroll, more information, scroll. You know what I'm saying? It's just bursts of information. It's straight into your brain. And you wonder why you can't do fucking homework. Like, that's why. Because you don't want to do it. You already received your fucking daily information. Actually, you over, like the limit's right here, and you've over fucking stimulated it. So, like, it's just too much.
And actually, from this point, we can move on to the next topic, which is productivity and Nofap, how that correlates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so
right.
You want to go ahead and start, Low Gang?
I'll talk about productivity. I haven't done Nofap. I don't need a FAP.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless like that 1 week, period.
Yeah, so okay, so NoFap, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that. NoFap is a fucking huge thing, and I think the problem with NoFap is a great start at understanding the way your brain works. It's like the best gateway. It's like a door. It opens to this whole new world of self improvement, self help, and understanding why certain thought processes happen, understanding your dopamine, understanding, like all that shit. And NoFap, it's like not in tights. It's got like a piece of the puzzle, but it's definitely the best way to start with it because it does help people out. And it does definitely improve a lot of people's lives. I'll let you talk a little bit about it, Justin, because I want to talk about some other stuff, but I'll talk after you.
So yeah, it definitely, when you first start, I would say, you probably started in middle school or something like that. I think that's when I started, but not NoFap, but just FAP in general. And so basically, you go through that middle school and you're just doing it, and then you go into high school and it's like, you're almost out of high school and then you realize, how productive you've been, you're not very productive. And then you'd like that, at least I think it was junior year, or it definitely wasn't junior when I tried it or when I first heard about it, but I definitely tried it, I think junior year. And I think that's when you did, Kevin, like we all like said, like
we tried it. Yeah, we tried to get. I want to say this real quick though. The problem with it is like you look around at your environment, right? Where like everybody in high school, and you search it up and everything, and it's like they like essentially like deliver it to you as masturbation is normal, and it's you're not weird for doing it. And I mean you're not weird for doing it because it is technically normal. Like it's just like everybody's fucking doing it.
I would say every generation has done it. It's just the way we do it and how much.
Yeah, and how much
is not normal.
And the amount of access to fapping material we have is so easy. It just makes it even worse, and it makes me angry. Really, it makes me angry because we are victims. As much as you want to disagree with me, we are victims of technology advancing faster than us to the point where it's an overwhelming amount of stimulation from information, pornography. You know what I'm saying? Like so much shit. And it's a problem. It's a problem that we need to understand how to use technology. That's what we need. The next adaptation that we need to do as humans is understand how to effectively use technology to our advantage. Because what's happening is technology is using us to its advantage, right? Like AI from TikTok and all that shit. It's understanding us as human beings, how to effectively keep us into it. Or I guess humans are making technology, for the worstness of fucking, you know what I'm saying, like humanity. But we just need to understand like that's on a tangent right there. But like going back to like the NoFap talk, like you can go ahead and start because I cut you off there. You were talking about how we usually start towards like, like high school, whenever you kind of start to like get into self-help.
Yeah, you start, and then anytime throughout high school, I think I just saw it on YouTube, like, it like pops up where you see like some just creator and, they may not have a big following or whatever, but it's just like a video and you're like, and it's like showing you benefits of Nofap. And so, you kind of start your own personal journey, and I think the first time I did it, maybe I got like a week or something, because I watched the video and I've looked it up, like of things you accomplish for like what you feel as each day, like each goal and everything milestone. And like by day 7, I think your testosterone boosts like 200% or something like that. So it's like way higher than what it's supposed to be, but then it settles back down. But so you get that boost, and then I would use that as my advantage when I'd go to the gym, I'd like time it. So I'm like on chest days, basically. It was the 7th, it would always be that 7th
nice.
day. And so that's when I would PR, a lot of the times.
Nice.
But,
so you kind of like learn how to manipulate the that cycle.
Yeah, I restart it because I feel like as like if you've wrapped, you've depleted. They always say like, I've seen it on TikTok and stuff. They're like, oh, it doesn't really affect. I wouldn't say affects, you, but it makes you feel drained, and it personally, mentally affects me. But so you feel weak when you first start, and then you move up. You're going into the week up to week or up to day 7 of the week, and then maybe it's day 6, and then you boost, it's huge, and then it kind of settles back down, but it's still above what you were before when you were fapping. It's still going to be above. It just won't be that 200%. And so I think that's after you get that 200%, and then it goes back down, you feel like I feel like you feel like it was kind of a waste, almost like
it
was fat because it doesn't feel that 200%.
It's interesting though, because when I first started Nofap, I would do it all the time. I would masturbate a lot. Like I was
multiple times
a day, edging sometimes, which is even worse.
Edging all the time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like edging is just so terrible, because what you're doing is every time you reach that climax, but you're not nutting, you're just releasing so much of it's like so much. It's like literally fucks over your dopamine, because it's building up a tolerance. So that to that extent, that's why it's a problem, is because you're building up a tolerance to dopamine, and so because of that, things that are like understimulating won't be fun. So like doing homework, which is usually supposed to be like, I guess, fun, but because you like masturbate, which is way more stimulating, way easier than doing fucking homework, you rather just do that. And so what people do is, when they think about homework or masturbation, what they can do, they're going to masturbate, and then they procrastinate, and they have to do it like way later at night, and then that takes mental toll. And I think the reason why people end up like failing nofap, or the reason why people kind of get into like the habits of masturbation, they can't get out of it, is because to them masturbation is almost like a priority. It's become normal to them, to their brain, so it just associates it as a normal thing that releases a lot of dopamine. Dopamine is a reward circuit, so to your brain, to your brain, nofap is like it's like a treat. So there's no problem. Your brain doesn't know what's right or wrong. It doesn't. It only knows like what is gonna give you the most amount of dopamine, and it's gonna want to do that. That's where self-discipline comes in. If we weren't conscious individuals, we'd be masturbating all the fucking time because it's pleasure and that feels good. You know what I mean? But we're conscious individuals, and we want to. What you need to do is you need to have a purpose. You need to have a vision. You need to understand what you want to get up to, what you want to grow towards, what you want to achieve, what your goals are, etc. And once you have that solidified plan of what you want to do, then nofap doesn't fit into that equation, and therefore you're not going to do it anymore. And it is somewhat of an addiction, but it's more of a dependency. That's why you can move away from it. You just have to actively be working towards a purpose, and you need to understand that nofap doesn't fit into that whole equation. It's, you know what I'm saying, you have to work out or whatever it is, eat healthy, blah blah blah, and that contributes to your end goal, but nofap doesn't fit in there. And so you have to convince yourself, you have to understand that kind of stuff, you have to read up on that and all that stuff to understand it really, and really practice it, put it into practice, and that's how you really kind of escape that trap of nofap.
Yeah. And what would you say you're like, Logan, you've done it before, right? Nofap?
I did it for like a couple days, but I didn't make the full week.
What did you feel?
It was like what did I feel? Or
like when you masturbated, like you're like, holy shit, like I can't even fucking complete a week.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
It became, like you said, it became like normal, and so it was like a part of my daily routine. So it was like, it was also seen as like something to do whenever I had like nothing to do, because I was just so like deprived of that dopamine. So like everything seemed boring, and so like you're like, all right, so I'm just gonna take a cookie out the jar and just enjoy it now. But then after, you're not gonna be like, if you eat too much cookies, you're not gonna like cookies too much,
Yeah.
Dude, I want to mention actually, because do you ever realize this, Justin, when you get indulged into it, like, so, and I don't know if this applies to you, Logan, maybe try to recall, but it applies more to people who have done nofap, because especially when you go like a week without doing it, maybe 3 weeks without doing it, and you kind of, what happens, it's like a chain reaction. It's really interesting how it happens, because I've observed it because I failed a month multiple times at like the 1 month mark multiple times. So I've observed exactly how it works. And what happens is you kind of get curious at looking at a picture, or you kind of get curious, you kind of get these thoughts processes, like, and or like a video comes up, right, when you're scrolling through and it's of a girl and or whatever, it's something explicit, something erotic, and you, instead of skipping through it and being like, okay, that's enough of that, it's already like trying to get to me, you kind of just look at it. And so what you're doing is you're telling your brain, hey, it's okay to just a little bit. That one little bit cracks open this door, and it slowly cracks open. The next day it's just a little bit more. Next day it's just a little bit more, until it just spills, essentially. And that's what's happening. Is discipline is you have to defeat the root problem and not let it get to you, even in the minuscule area. And Nofap, that's why it's such an interesting practice, and it's such an important practice for people, and that's why it's definitely something that it should be encouraged to do at some point. But don't beat. The thing about it is, the problem is people beat themselves. This is what I wanted to get to. People beat themselves up for failing, and that literally fucks people over. Because when I failed, like the first week. The first whole year I failed like within a week, and that like would literally get me depressed. Like the whole next day I'd be depressed. I'd be like, damn, I'm such a failure. Self-talk is everything. Like your thoughts become your reality. We talked about this in the last podcast, me and Logan. Your thoughts are, your self-concept. Those are your thoughts. Those are your beliefs, your ideas. So if you believe that just because of your masturbating, you're a failure, then that's what's going to happen. So you have to be okay with masturbation. You have to understand you're a victim of this problem. Now, you also have to understand that you can change your life, but you shouldn't be beating yourself up just because you failed. You can move on. You can do it again. You have so much time. I mean, it's normal to be a teenager and be doing this because your libido is at its highest. Your testosterone is at its highest. You know what I'm saying? So you like, if you have access to it, of course you're going to do it. It's like if you had access to multiple females, you'd be doing it. It's just a little unnatural because you don't get the same brain chemical releases as you do if you were to have sex with a female. And that's just a problem.
Yeah. On top of that, though, it's like, I feel like it's more encouraged nowadays just to like have people do that more, because in a sense it's just like dumbing down the population,
Yeah, dude. And, I mean, do you search it up when people like say doctors recommend to you do it? Like, do it. It's good. It's healthy for you. It's de-stressing. No.
De-stressing when it's not in excess,
Right, exactly.
Like, you can obviously do something more than you should be. But
also, I do want to say this, Logan. How many other activities can you do to de-stress yourself? Taking a cold shower, meditating, taking a walk. And it's way better than masturbating, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually, like you're actually actively, consciously thinking. Justin, how many times have you, when you've lost yourself to masturbation, how many times have you like, after you've been like, what the fuck? Like, it's almost like something took over you. It's like this, something just took over you and just did it for you. And then you're like,
I would say it's usually before I'm going to go to bed or something, and it's like, the only times I don't feel like that is like when, you're doing it because you have so much stress, and it's like, you do it and then it's like, you're back to like normal levels. But like if you're at, barely above normal, or you're at normal levels and you do it, it's like, you're always going to feel terrible afterwards.
Yeah, I think you're right. After you haven't done it for like a month, you do it, you're kind of like, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what happened with me. That's what's happened. That's what's been happening with me.
Have you thought about when you first hit puberty, like, and then the first time you ever did it and everything, if you never did it and you're at your age now, how much, like, would you have grown differently? I don't know.
Yeah, like, dude, I think I would have been like bigger. I would have probably been looking like more plastic dates to the testosterone. Nah, I'm kidding. I think I would be different. I don't think I'd be as weird as I am. I think maybe my voice would be a little bit. No, I don't think it affects you like that. I think it would have affected me differently, but I think it would have affected me differently in a negative way. I think masturbation is a catalyst to understanding your thought processes, and it's an understanding of how you could develop self-discipline. So I would never have replaced it, because if it wasn't for masturbating, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have these beliefs. I wouldn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, these understandings that I have now they probably wouldn't be the same if it was for I'd never masturbated, and probably I would have done it at some point, because it's just, I think everybody does it at this point.
Yeah.
There's just
Even
so
if
much.
it's a weird.
There's just so much erotic shit. Like, you look at video games, look at fucking anime, look at, you know what I mean? Like, it's just everywhere. Like, at this point, TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
I want to tell you this, and just before you start talking about whatever what you were going to talk about, because I was scrolling right when I downloaded TikTok. I went on a new account because I wanted to upload some fitness edits, because I just wanted to start doing it. I scrolled down on TikTok for your page, and I see a video of this woman with her tit out, and it's literally showing her tit, and she's breastfeeding a baby, and it's like, what are you showing to children on these social media applications? It's kind of alarming, and so you wonder why there's kind of this problem.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I feel like masturbation in general is like the biggest, I could say it's one of the most important things to your teenage years, especially, like the way you can control it. And I feel like schools miss out, even though it's a weird subject to talk about. It's really important for schools in general, like, to teach people, students, like, they should have a class that teaches them how to manage or do it at a good rate instead of overdoing it. Because I lost so much productivity by doing it too much.
Yeah.
You put off so much stuff and you become a procrastinator, which became my habit. And then it's like,
Yeah, absolutely. And what you realize, and here's the thing too, I'm not sure if you realize this, but what I realized is that masturbation isn't necessarily the problem. And it's not pornography either. But, because we link masturbation to pornography, it becomes, pornography is already, like, it's terrible. But it's not necessarily the problem. Like, pornography is definitely terrible. Like, just stay away from it, because, like, that's basically toxic for your brain. But it's not the problem. The problem is dopamine. Like, the overstimulation of dopamine. And this happens with video games, social media, and masturbation. Right? So it's not masturbation, it's not video games, it's not pornography, it's the overstimulation of dopamine, and that's what you need to focus on, that's what you need to put emphasis on. Because if you go like a month without masturbating, what you realize is you're kind of like, you're still going to procrastinate somewhat. If you're playing video games, you're still going to procrastinate somewhat if you're scrolling through social media, because now what you've done is you've replaced this habit of masturbation with something like social media, and now what you need is a little bit more scrolls to hit that same level of dopamine. Because what I wish we could do is we could go take a fucking break, go to the Himalayan mountains and train with fucking monks without our cellular devices, and that would, that would take our dopamine levels down to neutral levels, and we'd love life. Psychedelics somewhat do the same thing, but I wish we could do that. And I really wish, like, the world was a place in where you really were able to like, it was just more willing to give people the opportunity to disconnect from the normal world and take a break. And I guess that's what summer is, but not really. Summer is a time where you just fucking do whatever the hell you want and indulge in the most amount of dopamine activities, instead of the opposite, which it should be disconnecting and trying to connect more to nature, to earth, to your spiritual self, to your God, whatever it is. That literally is what it should be. But I understand that for some people that would not sound fun, and I get why. But honestly, it'd be the most fun. It's literally like people would. You're good. People would think like it's not fun at all. Like, holy shit, that's boring as hell. What are you talking about? I want to fucking play video games. But it honestly be the most fun, because you actually connect on a much more deeper level to your thoughts and to your internal self. And it's completely new compared to like just always scrolling on your phone and shit, which I think is the problem.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think that would be good, or do you think that would be boring?
I would say our generation in general is not, would not work with that type of break.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's what I'm saying.
It's not even the thing like like us, you know, like there's a lot of people like us where, you know, we could easily go out and do that, you know, and then enjoy that. But there's a lot of people that have literally built their lives around technology and stuff, and the fact that without it they are nothing, and they don't, you know, they don't think for themselves, and it's like, I don't know.
That's tragic too, dude. Like when you think about it, like, it's a problem. It's a problem, and it's not good because there's gonna be a point in time, maybe, where technology is gonna be no more. And what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean? That's why we have to get used to connecting.
Well, not even that. It's just the fact that technology is it's online, but when it comes to real world meetings, meeting people, doing stuff that doesn't involve technology.
This dude fucking took a bong rib. Dude, you're gonna get us demonetized. I'm just kidding. He didn't take a bong rip. He actually took a bong rip.
It was an inhaler.
It was his inhaler.
I actually have one.
Dude, my brother has one. As you guys were saying, though.
You have a brother? Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, older brother. I was thinking of your younger brother.
I wish. So.
Whoa, flexing.
Yo, what up, guys? More plates, more dates.com, man.
I took a screenshot of that, dude.
Yeah, my boy looking big. Yeah, just imagine. No. Have you seen those TikTok videos where people are like,
yeah. The don't budge challenge. You don't budge when you walk through the hallways.
Oh. Logan, we were talking about dopamine, right? How we're overwhelmed with dopamine, right? And that connects directly with Nofap. We go back to Nofap because you can really talk a lot about Nofap, but Nofap is really the catalyst to understanding what self-help is and to understanding how dopamine, it's literally like, it's because Nofap is like a front level thing. It's like there's so many layers to it like that, and Nofap is like one of the front layers. And you kind of, once you like kind of like swipe that away, oh, there's this one, swipe that away, there's this one, until you reach, you know, the deeper levels of what it really is. And it's who you are as a person, your self-concept. It's really all about what's inside of you, like how your brain works, how your thought processes work, etc. But we were talking about how absolutely amazing it would be if we had the opportunity as human beings, every so what, to just disconnect from our phones, disconnect from our technology, and go to like a forest, go to like a mountain, and go live out there, and just live out there for like a week or something. You know what I'm saying? And do that, and be one with nature, connect with nature, swim the water. Be camping, whatever.
Like a detox entirely.
Exactly.
Like you're complete. You know, I agree.
How
Plus,
important is that?
Super important. Like, I'm not trying to get like religious or like biblical, but like, there's been a lot of prior instances where like super prominent figures, like Jesus is one of them. They had to go through like this set, like fasting a long time without eating food, and a lot of the time they're out doing something or somewhere. Jesus was like in the fucking desert, like, you know, like walking.
Exactly.
So I mean, and in a sense, he reached enlightenment from that, like self-enlightenment, you know. And so, I think the most important thing is just trying to like detoxify yourself from like everything external and try to just focus on everything inside you. You know.
Absolutely, and I think that's what it gives you the opportunity to do, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because you brought up Jesus Christ and religion, I wanted to hear, what do you think? Because me and Logan already talked about what our concept of God is. But what do you think? What is your concept of God? What do you believe in, Justin? You're kind of an atheist, right? You're kind of like an optimistic atheist. Like, okay, like I'm not like proven until proven, pretty much. Like
basically what it is, I see Jesus and God and the religion of Christianity and all that stuff as hope, and you know, you believe. You're putting your belief and hope into this outer being. I don't know. I mean, maybe there are people that, I'm sure there are people that believe there literally is like a giant God, or, you know, human being, or not human being, but a giant God in like the fourth dimension or something like that, you know. But I wouldn't say I believe that. I guess I believe in the hope and that type of stuff of Christianity, but you know, in the like, I don't really know. It's kind of hard.
Don't fucking worry about of like offending people. By the way,
Yeah.
Like
no,
you can say
like
I don't fucking believe in Christianity. Like fuck that shit. Because honestly, I don't either. I think it's a fraction of the whole equation. It's like a very
it's
small piece of the whole puzzle.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I believe, but it's the fact that you want to believe because you want to feel secure that there's something else out there.
Right.
That's what it is.
And in philosophy, they call that philosophical suicide. And so I think what you believe is you believe that there is like some creator, some kind of energy, divine energy that created us, but it's not the way portrayed in Christianity. It's not.
I believe that bacteria and evolution created everything, but it's just weird that we became beings and have this thought process.
The consciousness,
and that animals exist.
Right?
That's
consciousness,
I don't understand.
Such an interesting.
I don't think anyone does.
Such an interesting concept, right? Consciousness, the fact that we are aware, the fact that we can essentially see ourselves in a third perspective view, the fact that we can disconnect with our ego. Our ego makes us human. Our ego is who we are. We already talked about this in the last podcast. Our ego is what makes me Kevin, what makes you Justin, what makes you Logan, and essentially that's what ego is. And what we can do because we have a consciousness is we can disconnect with it. We can understand that. We can understand our thoughts. We can meditate and see our thoughts passing by and how they work and stuff. We can change our direction. We're not instinctive. We're not fucking everything we see. We're not just eating and shitting and fucking. I mean, we're kind of doing that, but not relatively because, we can see it. We understand it. We're like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's interesting. That's what consciousness allows us to do. And that's why we're not necessarily human. We're not our ego. We're not our fucking human body. And I was reading a book, actually. It's called The Book of One. And it talks about, I think it's Hinduism religion or Buddhist religion. I don't know which one it was. But essentially, it talks about how there's so many layers to our self. And the superficial layer is our physical self. So it's our human body, our skin, whatever. The second layer would be like our ego, or maybe it's more like our automatic processes, like our heartbeats and, like our digestive processes and stuff like that.
That's gotta be Buddhism, I swear.
Yeah, and then our third would be our ego, and it's like who we identify as, our persona and whatnot. And then our fourth version is when we meditate, it's our observer, the person who observes, all these things happening. But they even said that we're not even our observer. That's not who we are. We're not even the observer. We're something else. We're something greater, something that we cannot comprehend because we're limited. We're infinite inside a finite, essentially, reality. So it's all an illusion. Not to scare people. I always say, every time I say that, it's funny because it's like, it's just an illusion. And then people are going to be like, okay, I don't want to say that, but like, illusion is like, I'm not saying it as an illusion as in like just getting, like don't fucking worry about your life or whatever, but like it's an illusion as in like the things that you put so much value into, sometimes you can step back and be like, wait, these aren't like that, like bad, like some, like when we were talking about this, like how so many people get in arguments and stuff like that. Like, why do you get in arguments? Understand why. It's take a step back. Does that argument really hold any value instead of communicating passionately and lovingly? Like, that's what holds more value. You know what I mean? You can actually impact the way other people see their lives. That should be valuable to you. But people rather just, argue and live in a Caesarean life, like a fucking unconscious life where they just, they just walk every single day negatively affecting other people.
Stuck in the matrix.
And that's why I say it's an illusion. I don't mean like life doesn't matter. I think it does. It actually does. It plays a very important life in your development as whatever you really are. But it's like, I think that the social constructs that are around you, like the fact that we have to, and I'm not saying like drop out of school or anything like that, but I'm saying like the social constructs of like having to do school, having to please other people, all that stuff. They're just social constructs at the end of the day. They were created by humans. They aren't real. They don't have any biological factors. They don't have any natural factors. They were created by humans. Humans like you and me. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not real. It's just an illusion. It's not. What's real is like, even like, it's what you think, your thought processes. That's what's real, essentially. Or I guess your inner self would be real.
Every concept that has been created ever Is by us.
It's by us. Yeah. So
Great.
I want to say actually because no, even our thought processes aren't necessarily real. They're just kind of domesticated. Like it's just we've been domesticated to have those thought processes. They're habits. But we can step away from that and be like, wait. And so this is what's interesting, right? And this is what I've learned. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this because yesterday I was watching a lot of videos of like kind of like this idea that our subconscious mind creates our reality a little bit. We talked about this too, but this is kind of like different. So essentially what our self-concept is our beliefs. So our self-concept is composed of, our beliefs, our ideas, our thought processes, how we see ourselves as individuals, and the values that we put on certain things, how we see the world, and how we see other humans. You know what I mean? So this self-concept, usually how you see yourself is how you're going to see other people. So the reason you judge other people, for example, is because you judge yourself. The reason why you people are, for example, like I personally, like I struggle with accepting fat people, fat positivity, right? Like body positivity. I just simply can't. And the reason why is because I would judge myself if I was fat. I'm not gonna lie. If I wouldn't care it to be fat, then I wouldn't judge fat people because I wouldn't care. And I should probably try to work towards that way, but I just simply can't because I'm like I literally work towards creating and sculpting a perfect body. So it's like would be contradictory to my beliefs and ideas. So self-concept, the way you see yourself, is the way you see other people. The way you value yourself, the values you hold into yourself is the way you're going to value other people. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how that works. And so when you have essentially good thought processes and you value the good things in life, you're going to attract those things into your life. But if you always have self-doubt, if you're like, and self-doubt and then self-doubt and then self-doubt, and you're just constantly negatively thinking about yourself, you can't achieve anything. Because you'll never, jump the leap of faith, take the leap of faith. And that's the problem. Have you guys ever heard about like that? The whole like self-concept idea? Like from within, without kind of?
I have. We talked about it a little bit the other day. I totally agree because it just makes sense, Like, the only thing is holding you back is just yourself, So,
Justin, I want to hear what
everything.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
I cut you off. No, because no.
I was gonna say some dumb shit. I'm high. I'm so high right now.
Oh, you're good, bro. You're good. Just say it, dude.
No, literally, I don't even.
No, you were gonna say everything. I think maybe you were gonna say something about manifestation, subconscious.
Nah, I was just going off the head. Oh no.
Okay. Okay. So what I was gonna say is I wanted because I already heard everything that you relatively everything that you were saying about it, Logan. But I haven't heard what Justin. I don't think I've ever heard anything about Justin talking about this because for some people when they hear these like concepts, they think it's kind of like bullshit, almost like wishy-washy, and to some extent it is, but like you kind of have to really understand it. Logan, you know what I mean? Like when I'm saying like you kind of really have to like step out of out of yourself and kind of like try to understand it. And it does sound like it kind of sounds stupid when you think about it, like manifestation, like it's just gonna pop out of thin air just because you think about it. It's not like that. It's much more deeper than that, and it's a much more complex process. But you can understand it, and it's just like the simplified version of it. Is like that's when you could call it like manifestation. It's like within, without, or whatever. But it's much more complex. But it does work somewhat like that. So I want to hear what you think about it, Justin.
Manifesting something. What do you mean by that? Like manifesting?
So like everything I just said. Like what do you think about it? Because I don't think you think like that, right? You think that's like bullshit, right? Like somewhat. You're like, dude, come on. And I don't care, by the way. Like this is why we do these podcasts, because we want to exclaim different ideas and we want to put our ideas out there. So don't worry.
You're saying basically what you're saying was that I kind of forgot what you said exactly.
Dude, No, I'm kidding.
It was.
It's fine. That's how unimportant it was. No, I'm kidding. Pretty much like so. So this idea of what your self-concept is, right?
Yes.
So we kind of learned this in psychology a little bit. It's what your beliefs are composed. It's like a self-concept is composed of this. It's like a bubble of what you are, and it's like your ego. Essentially, it's like what your values are, what your beliefs are, and like your thought processes, your self-doubts. The way you see the world, like, and the way you see other people. And so, like, usually your self-concept, like what you think about yourself, is usually what you're gonna see in like the world. It's how you're gonna see the world and everything around you. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you're like always negatively looking at yourself, like you wake up every morning and you're like I look shitty. You're always judging yourself. You're doubting yourself. You feel miserable, and those are the thought processes that are happening. And then also like like all that stuff, you're gonna see the world as a shitty place, and therefore you're gonna see people as shitty people. You know what I'm saying? And when people are happy, you're gonna be like, why the hell is he happy? That's not normal. I don't like that because I'm not happy. And so therefore you're reflecting. You're projecting almost. You're projecting your self-concept onto the world. It's perspective.
I give an example.
Go ahead. Yes, please.
It was earlier today. People who tailgate, or not tailgate, but like who literally like drive up behind you and like stay behind you, like really close to your bumper when you're driving. It happened. This guy was like an aggressive driver, and I turned, and then their light turned green, and so they were coming, and for some reason he was gunning it, dude, and so he just stayed on my rear for the entire time, and that was him projecting like, his need for urgency or his own ego, so, and I was driving the speed limit the entire time just to like, make sure this guy's like in check. So after I turned and went straight down a different street, I saw him just speed up and then do the same thing to another car ahead.
No way.
Yeah, the same thing. And
It
I
wasn't just
literally,
you.
because, huh?
He wasn't just doing it to you or anything.
Yeah, he was just doing it to other people as well for some reason. I don't understand why, but he also turned his head to look at me when he drove by, and like we made eye contact and everything, and he didn't look too happy. So must have been in a rush or just like bad day. So everyone else has to pay,
Yeah. So exactly like what he said. It's
you were
pretty
asking
much.
If I agree with that.
I'm asking like if you agree with like self-concept, essentially like whatever you like look with like however your internal like self, like your self-concept looks like, is going to be reflected in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's obviously true because everything you do is reflective of how you feel and then like who you are. It's like I guess that's what I got out of it.
Okay, so you do agree with that, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's the bare minimum. Now, if I were to say, hey, if you believe that you were a fucking a businessman or a fucking successful person, and you thought like that every single day, even though you weren't, but you thought like that, and you're like, I can be a fucking successful businessman, and you said to your self-doubt, whenever it's like, dude, you're not smart enough to be you just said, fuck you, self-doubt, I don't care. I'm going to keep working. And you did it every day. You're like, you have your affirmations every day where you're like, okay, I'm going to be a successful businessman, or I am a successful businessman, and I'm going to, be innovative. I'm going to create certain things. I'm going to build this, business that's going to be, great. And then what happens with that is you start to, implement habits that are going to help, grow that. So you maybe start reading business books. You maybe start, going to the gym to, get your mental health better. Start going on walks to get your mental health better, and blah, blah, blah. Start doing your business or whatever. Start jotting down ideas about it. Start journaling. What about that? Like just from a certain affirmation, can it propel you towards that other stuff?
Yeah, I feel like if you truly believed that, I feel like that'd be really hard to do, to like just switch up and then really believe, get that motivation and desire. But if you did truly believe that, yes, I believe that that's what I feel like all the top successful business or just top successful people have done. have, I mean, maybe not a full switch up, you know, but like they got that motivation at some point and desire, and they pursued it.
Actually, you want to know what's crazy is a lot of the a lot of famous artists, or singers, and a lot of famous actors as well. They've they say like that they knew they were gonna get there. They say like, dude, I knew I was gonna get here eventually. Like it was gonna take some work, but I knew I was gonna become a successful person in this field. And it's interesting because it's like that is part of that whole thing. It's like they knew it from the beginning of their lives, and they didn't let self-doubt get to them. And that is our ego. Our ego is self-doubt. Our ego is that part where it's just kind of nagging at you, telling you you're not gonna make it, dude. You're not gonna make it. You gotta take another path. You're not gonna make it. And so too many people give in to their ego, or I mean to that self-doubt process. But what I wanted to say is, if somebody were to come up to you and tell you, hey, the key to fucking success in this world is literally change the way you think. Every fucking morning, wake up, get in a routine of, thinking like becoming the person you want to become. Would you be like, that's bullshit? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds too good to be true. and it's true, because affirmations is kind of like a band-aid to the whole problem. What you need to do if you actually want like things like these to work, like affirmations and manifestation. If you want to become the person that you want to become, you can't just simply wake up in the morning and do an affirmation and then try to change your thoughts. That's like putting a band-aid on the problem. At some point, it's going to be taken off, and then the crack is revealed again, and boom. You have to dig deep. You have to really go deep and face your fears. This is why psychedelics are so important sometimes, because they can help you do that. And therapy too. You have to understand why you think in certain ways. Something in your life in the past has happened that makes you think in self-doubt. Address that problem, and then practice whenever that self-doubt happens. Be like, oh, I know why this is happening, instead of just being like, nope. You gotta be like, wait, I know why I'm thinking like this. It's because of this. And so then your brain starts to understand why it's happening. And so you're kind of allowing your brain to really develop itself. And so you create this environment where you can become the person you want to become. Because a lot of times people just say like, affirmations is enough, when it's not. The affirmation is not enough. It can be. It's like 50-50, honestly. That's why you can get lucky with it. Maybe you won't get lucky with it. But it really is like addressing the problem from the very fucking beginning. Why you have self-doubts. Why you think you can't do it, maybe.
Yeah.
Those books are interesting, dude. I read or watch videos on those stuff, and they always get me.
I got a Yusa book, and the book's called Yusa, and it's basically about that. Like, I haven't read a whole lot. I've read like 5 to 10 pages. It's a good book. It's somewhere around here. I don't know. My girlfriend had it last, but it was really informative. Here, let me find it. But it's just really nice, dude. It's a good beginner book too. Like, it's called the Yusa Guide to Balance Mind, Body, Spirit, and it basically just like talks about that stuff.
Yeah. That's good, dude. I think honestly though, what it comes down to at the end of the day is how, like, because I'm talking about it, and the way I talk about it is because of my beliefs and my set of beliefs and values. So for everybody, it's going to be different. Like, I can't say that for what works for me is going to work for you guys, because you guys were raised differently. You guys have seen different things. And so that's just how, like, that's just like really when it comes down to it, that's kind of like how it happens. Like, maybe what I can say can help people somewhat understand, but their understanding of it has to be different from my understanding, because I've grown up different and stuff like that. So I can't really like maybe some people will get parts of it, and maybe some people won't get any of it. And that's just how it is with these kinds of concepts, because, like, I've done psychedelics. I know Logan has. And so that's kind of like, dude, did I just expose you? Is the police going to come get you?
No.
No. But
it's nice though.
Those kinds of things, like they kind of like give you a window into like the whole like that sort of thought process, like that sort of like you know, you are not your thoughts, and you can kind of like step out of it, and you really see your thoughts, like you really like see them, like I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. It's like you disconnect from it, and you can see how like your brain just works as a machine. It's not natural. It's like unnatural.
Yeah, it's amplified. It's like basically getting your thoughts and connecting it to an amp. So
yeah, dude. All the neural pathways. That's right. Connects and everything. Yeah, like have you ever seen that diagram where it's like your brain normally and your brain on psilocybin? Justin? Yeah. Have you seen it, Justin?
No.
Where it's like a whole bunch of shit going, because it's like your brain's just boom, it's fucking exploding with neural pathways, just, and it's like, you know, it's interesting how that works. We're at the 1 hour 22 minute mark, by the way.
Let's run it to 1 hour 30.
Okay, yeah. So I say let me see. Let me check it out. It's at 1 hour 22 minutes. So we got, okay, we'll run it to 1 hour 30. Dude, I really wish what I want to do as an individual is, and this is why this whole podcasting is honestly really good, is I want to be able to talk my thoughts out in the most fluent and flowing ways where people can understand them and really try to understand what I'm trying to say, because I feel like some of the shit that I say, like it just, and like I need to be able to like connect, like have it structured like in a good way so that people can understand it.
Without having to censor everything you say, make everything correct.
Right, exactly.
You know, if you put a, you know, I don't know where you're uploading this to, but some, you know, platforms, especially YouTube, you know, you upload it and then it's like, you use certain language and then it's demonetized, and it's like,
dude, that's true, huh? Oh shit! Oh shoot! Yeah. Almost said.
You know what you could do? You can upload it to different. You can edit those parts out. It'd take a while, but you could edit those parts out, and then upload, you know, the raw version to like somewhere that you don't care, you know, as much about getting monetization from, and then upload the edited version to, let's say, you know, YouTube or something, wherever you do upload to, where you want to get the most, you know, out of it.
Dude, okay. You know what? So I think that, so I've kind of understood how YouTube works, and YouTube, when you swear less, it does give you more money. It gives you more average. But I do want to say that we're not going to be monetized for a while, because when you get like 1,000 subscribers and when you get like a whole bunch of views or whatever. So we'll be fine on that for a while until like it becomes a big thing. I'll definitely upload our stuff on TikTok to see if we can get some views on that.
Just clips, yeah. Your short clips.
But we got to figure out what our name is going to be in this podcast. Do you guys think about that or no?
If we could do like,
forgot to look up.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
The name you had what was it? It was
Trium D Cast. Yeah, Trium D Cast.
What is Trium again?
So Trium Verate. So it's Trium for like Trium Verate, and Trium Verate was the it was back in Rome, where there was 3 like really insane, like really good like generals, like really like the best generals essentially. I think it was Caesar. It was oh shit, I forgot the other 2, but they were like really good generals, right?
Julius Caesar.
Yeah, Julius Caesar, and the other one was like something with a P, and then I forgot the other one. But they were like insane, and what they did
Percy
together.
Jackson.
Yeah, Percy Jackson with the Philosopher's Stone, dude. No, but it's like they were able to like take over essentially together. They were able to like do like some crazy stuff like that the other generals weren't able to do.
I think that's a good name.
And they were called the Trium Verate because of that. It was the first Trium Verate.
Let's do it.
So I was like a Trium D Cast.
No, but what's the D for?
You know, just Monkey D Luffy. So because we're D, we're in the D.
Yeah,
and the D was actually for podcast. So the cast, podcast, like a POD.
Hey, well, One Piece fans too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, true. Maybe
dude, we gotta have a One Piece
about anime. We can talk about anime.
Dude, Logan, I've seen
analyzing the episode 1041 or some shit like that. And people would be like,
115 was so good. 117 was pretty insane.
117 was nice.
What? Are you gonna talk about the episode? Dude, I haven't watched it, dude. I already know though what's happening in the manga. Like I watched the YouTubers that analyze them and shit.
I do both. I read and I watch.
Yeah,
it's so worth
It's not gonna
it.
be cut up.
dude, it's fucking dope. The manga's dope though.
Dude, there's so much we can talk about. Oh my god,
I know,
I watch so much. Not recently,
what do you
but...
think Luffy's bounty is gonna be?
Wait, he took down Kaido, right, in this recent manga chapter? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And how much was Kaido's
Bro, his is
It was 5 point something, right? Or 4 point something.
No, Kaido's is 4.6.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I have a little poster thing.
Oh, you do. Okay, 4.6. I was actually gonna say 4.6. Okay.
Dude, it's a lot. So
Big
he's gonna
Arms is
have
4.4, I think, right?
Mhm.
And then Shanks is 4.8 or what?
Shanks for Bill.
Oh, 4. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's 4, and then it's 4,045,000, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
It has
Oh yeah, Whitebeard was only 5 billion, or was it Roger?
how much is Monkey D Dragons?
Might be more.
Dude,
Oh,
his
we don't
is
know.
infinite. We don't know.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
His is
Yeah.
too much because there is. I feel like it's gonna be confirmed. Obviously he's a son of Garp, and he definitely was a Marine, so he knows like probably everything. And so
Dude, he's got a super
to
powerful fruit too, from the theories.
give him a bounty so people go after him because he's just gonna either recruit him because he's so powerful or kill them off. I don't know.
Oh.
Dude, I mean, you saw Logtown when he just saved Luffy. Like his powers.
With
It was
yeah.
he did,
Yeah.
but maybe
People
water
speculate he can control weather, right? That's what people are saying.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is too much to talk about in like 8 minutes or whatever, dude. That's so much.
It'd
I'm
take us
excited
like
for
a
that.
couple hours to fucking talk about One Piece.
Yeah.
And then
That'll be the next one.
Yeah,
Yes,
we talk about we could split it up like because like we could talk about like so many things about One Piece, like even like just analyzing like the last episode would probably it could take us like a couple minutes, like 30 minutes or so. So
That's perfect. Yeah.
yeah.
So you can do multiple. We could do like a couple anime or whatever,
Yeah.
We can do that and then the podcast, like because it's so short, and it's perfect because that's just more content for people.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's fun. It's
All
fun
right,
time.
boys. So that's gonna be it. We hit the 1 hour 31 minutes.
Oh.
So that's gonna be it. But you guys want to say any last words? Anything?
Watch on.
Just talking piece. We're definitely gonna be putting out some more content. I assume anime will be the next podcast. If it's, I don't know. I guess the next episode comes out. The next episode and chapter come out this Saturday, Sunday.
I think that would be like a good way to maybe like
appeal to a lot of people.
Appeal to a certain audience. I'd have to start fucking watching anime again though.
Dude, you need to for the podcast you can screen share, and so when you're recording, you can put up like a picture of like the newest chapter, and it adds some more visual.
Yeah, I could do that, and
That's
I could
what a lot
also
of people do.
during the editing process, like I could just snipe whatever part it was, and I could just do it like that as well. You know what I mean? Like,
true, yeah.
Like just put it up on the recording, because if I screen share, I think it kind of like, let me see if I wanted to screen share. So I test real quick.
Watch stream.
Like you see how it's like over here, and so let me see if I go like this. Okay, I guess that's not too bad, but dang,
Dude,
that's when like another screen would be good, but I don't have another monitor.
Yeah, the best
So
thing
maybe
would
one of
be
you
is
guys
if
could
you're all
screen
just
share,
in the
honestly,
same
because I'm
room.
recording.
Yeah.
Maybe one of you guys could screen share. You know what I mean? Just don't,
Logan,
just don't accidentally search up anything weird.
What?
Logan, you have a PC setup?
Yeah, I can do it.
I just have a MacBook. I can't. That'd be
Oh, damn, rich boys. All right, stop
no,
flexing, boys.
PC is more than a Mac, but come on.
I don't know. It depends.
I mean, Yeah, it depends. But
They're
if it's a gaming setup, probably
Macs
more.
are cool though. They can have Logitech, not Logitech, but it's like a editing software only for Mac, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's just really portable and easy to use. So I use it when I take it to school and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, it's so nice though.
All right. You guys have to say goodbye to the podcast.
Later, Gators.
Later, Gators.
Later.